So welcome back to our JavaScript course. So in the last video, we created the simple algorithm. It's going to say good afternoon. If it is in the afternoon, like it is in the expense tracker app. If it is in the morning, it's going to say good morning. If it is in the evening, it's going to say good evening. It's in the conditional statement and the date object in JavaScript. So in this video, I'm going to start learning about JavaScript events. So HTML events are things that happen to HTML elements. So when JavaScript is used in HTML pages, JavaScript can react on this event. So an event is something the browser does or something a user does. For instance, let's say for instance when a web page has finished loading, then you want an event to occur. And maybe when an input field was changed, or maybe when a button is clicked, you want an event to occur. So now let's look at how to quickly create a simple event. So one of the most common events that we have in JavaScript, we have the onChange, we have the onClick, we have onMouseOver, we have onMouseOut, we have onKeyDown, we have onLoad. Let's quickly create a simple event so that you see how it works. So let's go back to our text editor now. So let's open our text editor. So let's go back to the index here and see how we're going to do. So now let's at the top here now, since we have the header, for instance, we have the header that says an expense tracker app. So let's quickly create something like this. Let's create a button. So let's say button. So button. So inside the button now, we're going to say the time is, and we're going to leave it like this, okay? So now in the button, I'm going to create an event, the onClick, when the user click on this button. So let's quickly save it and go back to the browser and see what we have. So now let me log out and click on the logout here. So you see we have a button in the time is. So you see then now nothing is happening because we are yet to add the event. So now let's create a simple function here. It's inside our main.js. So the main.js is going to be our sample, a sandbox that will be turned to our learning, whereas the script.js is going to be the scripting file for the expense tracker app. So let's go to our main.js. So I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, so let me quickly create a simple function. We have already learned how to create functions. So I'm going to use the arrow function. So I'm going to call it, I'm going to use the constant, and I'm going to say display. That's the name of the function, display date. Then it's equals to. So I don't need any parameters. So the arrow sign, then the block of code now. Okay, now so I'm going to use document dot get element by id. I'm going to refer this particular id because I want to change this for instance this expense tracker app. So I'm going to change the content inside and display the date here. So now let me say get element by id. The name of the id I want is the header. So I want to change the content using the inner HTML. So in HTML, I'm going to say, I'm going to embed the date object. So I'm just going to say date, okay, and save it here, okay. So now let's go back to the browser and refresh. You see we have everything is in place. So once we click it, see nothing is happening because we are yet to attach the event to the button. So let's go back to the index.html. So inside the button here, so if you want to attach the event to a particular element, so let's try the onClick. You see we have a lot of them. You see onFocus, onChange, for instance, so you can just play around with later on. So let's try to use the onClick. So once the user click on the button, we want to trigger this function, it displayed it. So I'm just going to say display it. Since it's a function, don't forget to put your bracket. So let's save it. So let's go back to the browser and refresh to see what we have. So Ctrl Alt to refresh. So let's click on it. You see now that this has changed to Saturday, February. So it's giving about everything the date object. So basically this is the event. So later on you can try the other event. Let's see the onClick. Maybe the onClick when you want to create a menu and maybe the mobile view. So you can use the onClick. For instance, once the user click on the hamburger icon, then the menus of the mobile display is going to be displaying. or maybe when the user on key press, for instance, as the user, maybe you have to create a search engine. As the user is typing, is going to be searching the database and be filtering and be giving out results. So you can use the on key down, for instance. So basically, that's the event. So the next video, we're going to learn about the event list now. So to meet in the next video.